On then and discuss more earnings. RR Kabel, it's been a bit of a weakish quarter. We've got Rajesh Jain, the CFO of the company, joining in to discuss the quarter gone by. Thanks much for taking time out. So overall, your Q3 numbers have been a little bit weak, at least when we're looking at the analyst estimates. Margins as well have dipped below the 7% mark. What's the outlook when it comes to your overall earnings as to what were the big drags and what your margin outlook is?
Yeah, good morning, and thanks for inviting us for this call. And if we see our growth, when we see only on quarterly basis, it seems low, but overall, we have achieved volume growth of 20% in wire and cable, which is higher than industry average when we compare 9 month on 9 month. And even in this quarter, we have grown by, in volume terms, we have grown by 10%, and which is on higher base of Q3 of previous year. So still we think we will be able to maintain our volume growth of 20% in wire cable, which is always higher than industry growth.
Margins down for the quarter gone by. I mean, they're down by 1%, but on 8%, if this is a 1% plus drop, it's actually more than 10%.
Yes, again, when we see our yearly estimates where we have predicted that our margins will improve by 140 bits in wire and cable business, and we are on that track only. There are some impact due to product mix in this quarter, but in longer horizon or even on a yearly basis, we'll be able to maintain our growth or margins will be in the range of 8%.
Okay. Global metal
Here
price.
again, very interesting to see. Again, we have to see that even in FMEG, because we have both the business, FMEG also contributing more than 10% in our revenue. And there also we are able to have the growth of 20% on YOY basis, which is a very healthy growth. And in terms of volumes, in terms of margins, we are on track.
Peers had recently stated that, the Red Sea disruptions of late have started increasing the cost and even delivery time. With your company having almost 26% of revenues coming in from exports, tell me how these issues have impacted your exports and what are the challenges that you're currently facing?
So this is global crisis, and definitely this will have impact on any business. But since our pricing are very transparent and we have freight is always variable cost and we pass on to our customer, so this will not have any impact on our margins. And good part, in spite of this blockage, also we are having the strongest export growth in our wire and cable business. So we will be able to have good growth even in spite of this Red Sea crisis.
Where is the growth coming from? Is it at the B2B level in terms of high tensile wires? Is it coming at the household level? Where is the growth coming from?
So in export, our majority of the export business is distribution-led business, and it is coming from all geography. And earlier in our business, wire share was more, but in recent past, in last 2 3 years, we were able to have higher growth in our cable business, cable exports also. So growth is coming from both the segments, but more from cable segment in exports. In domestic, if we see our majority of revenue, almost 70% of revenue in wire cable comes from wire only. So, whatever growth we have achieved, it is equally from wire and cable, but slightly more in terms of cable growth we are achieving.
What about your FMEG segment? I believe the revenue saw 20% year-on-year growth. In the next 2 to 3 years, you think there is immense scalable potential in this particular segment of your business?
Sure. This industry it is going through a tough phase, and still it is growing less than 10%. But in this scenario also, we are growing at 20%, and in going forward also, by introducing new product in our FMEG segment, we are quite confident to achieve the growth more than 20% or maybe in the range of 25%.
Could you broadly tell us your market share in the domestic market? Because when I speak to some of your peers, they are also confident, they are also expanding, they also are getting business from domestic market. What is your market share?
So it's 7% overall in domestic market. And in that also majority of the sales our comes from wire only. And if you see in last 23 years, we are the youngest company in wire and cable industry. And in this very short span of 23 years, already we have gained the market share of more than 7%. So growth is coming, and our figure itself says ki we are the fastest growing wire and cable company in terms of volume. If you see even previous last 3 years or last 20 years also. So we are expecting to grow more than 20% even in near future also.
Including domestic and exports. What could be the split of export? What could be the split of domestic?
So as of now, our exports is 27% of revenue, and it will be in the range of 27 or 25 to 30%, because we have equal focus on growing our export market as well as domestic market also. So we will grow in both the segments, and export the growth may be some bit higher, and this ratio can go up to 30%.
Top markets you export to?
So we are exporting to more than 67 countries, but the majority of our exports is coming from Europe, where UK, Austria, Germany, these are the major countries. Then we have also good volume of exports in UAE and Australia, New Zealand, and the USA also. What we developed in last 3 years, it is contributing almost 10% of our export revenues.
You don't see any problem coming from Europe or from US, given that their local governments are also trying to become more Atmanirbhar, just like India is restricting imports. There also the same narrative has started.
No, but in India, still we have very good opportunity in European markets. Though people talk about slowdown in Europe, but we have not seen any impact. My majority of the export is coming from Europe, and in last 3 years also we have done very good growth. And even the forward orders, whatever orders we have in our hand, it seems this growth will continue. And not only in short term, but we think this wire and cable industry will keep growing at least for next 8 to 10 years, because infrastructure is coming in big way, not only in India but in worldwide also. There is like EV is the very big field. Then solar cable or alternate energy is again a very big field. So we are expecting good growth to come from all the segments.
Okay, thank you for taking time out. Expect growth to come in from all segments. Overall volume growth as well has been healthy, and margins around 8%. That's the word from the management of RR Cable. All right.